And we're going to select Blackmagic Design. Okay. Yeah, you may have something. I'm seeing audio and you're not getting anything. There it is. Okay, so all it took is removing all the sources and putting them back in again. Okay. Alrighty. Looking that up now. Yeah. Mr. Regular, will you ever review an Acura TL Type S? We did the Acura Sport Wagon. That's kind of a TL, but no, probably not that. The one Kia says, Green Brians are in the mood to continue talking about Ethernet cables and local networking tech. I don't know what there is to talk about. I can answer a lot of questions how to wire up homes with structured cabling. What I really need is we need an access point closer to the bedrooms, and we just I don't know what you mean by that. It's just running Cat5 cable from there where that lamp is right there and running it over here, that lamp in the corner, or yeah, so 2, 3. So I wonder. You're gonna lose my audio in a second. No, you're not. I am gonna switch this mic to this mic. See if there's less hiss. Yeah, better. Much, much better. I need to switch this microphone under here, bring it up here, flip it back in, sink it down. All right, like that. Okay. That's probably a lot better. Now, people in... Oh, I got to test something else. When you clip this to this, you have to cinch that down. Otherwise, it's going to yank the microphone where you don't want it. Okay. So, I am noticing that now the audio for TikTok is probably lower. So we're going to do an experiment here. TikTok is getting the feed directly from the control board out. Turn that back to me here. TikTok is getting the feed directly from microphone out. So we are going to turn it up. Okay, it affects both. Okay. Turn it way up here. It may be peaking, but it's probably fine for TikTok. TikTok probably sounds better. So peak. This is Muzzy Volume. 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 Muzzy Volume is this loud. Muzzy Volume is this loud. Yo, bro, Wawa, that's fucking shit fucking lit. I'm gonna smoke fucking Marlboros and drink Mad Dog. Yo, man, Miller High Life's fucking king of beers. I can't wait to drive a Monte Carlo. There we go. All right, so now we're kind of balanced between the two. Cool. Ball, fall, something, join. All right, cool. Longmont position, Call of D Lobby 23 export. All right, so how's the quality now with YouTube? I think we have it balanced because what's coming out of the microphone for YouTube is coming out of the A10. See, we have the same outs. So we have a master control out for the mixer. So the ATEM and the phone are getting the same audio source, but the ATEM has another volume controls down on it. So I can turn it up so the phone sounds fine, and then pot it back down on the ATEM, because the ATEM has an out directly into the computer. Yeah, because it's all coming through. It's USB audio coming in. Okay. YouTube sounds good. Mic sounds very directional. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is a studio mic. So if I turn away, it gets closer, and if I turn right in front of me. So I need to have the microphone like this, even though it's off to the side some. Again, when I go to read the solution is move this over here. Pop out the chat. Put it over on the left-hand side of the screen. Minimize the browser. And put OBS right in the middle. So when I'm forced to read it, I'm forced to also look at the mic. That works. What do you think of the Acura TLX Type S? It's a Honda V6 with turbo plus all-wheel drive. Yeah, I mean, it's BMW xDrive without the maintenance issues, right? TikTok says, should I buy a Saab 9DX Aero for $3,500 with 175,000 miles and some rust? No. When you said some rust means a lot of rust. So the answer is no. Cool. Do the boomer Corvette voice. Which is really just the old man voice. You know, my Corvette's best Corvette. My Corvette is rare. And this is the chair I want to sit in. Oh, you can't see this. Yeah. I got to move that over there. Got to move this to the table here. And then these cables got to be wrangled right like that. And then these cables need to come over here. Okay, something happened because I jostled cables. I think we lost two cam. Yep, and here they come back again. We lost. Oh, they're still there. Okay, they just they just reset, so we can expect that to happen. Yeah, they moved into photo mode, like that. Yeah. Anyway, what was I doing? I was getting microphones. Fourth. Four tracks, one dream. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Christopher Angler says, the living room feels like PBS NewHour and chocolate Ovaltine. Well, thank you. It needs more stuff on the walls, but yeah, I love it. And that one's that one. All right. I Silly Zombie 666 says, "Hey Brian, hello." User something said, "Sweet, I just got one and making sure I don't do the wrong thing." Don't know what that means. Someone says, "Is this the Ford Maverick?" Clapped Bus says, "Loaded." The one Kia says, "You should get a really high resolution print of the Motor Week logo and hang it on." That'd be cool. I'm open to any sort of stuff people want to give me. Because apart from a logo, like every bit of money I make just goes right into the show or right into my mortgage. Silly Zombie says, "Heading to Pennsylvania next week. When are you going to tour Hershey?" See, the thing is, man, TikTok, they asked me a question on YouTube. They asked me, "I'm going to go to the Hershey Auto Museum." So the Hershey Auto Museum, I don't get to drive any of the things. So what? I don't get to drive their stuff. I wonder if I could get around this limitation and just zoom in here like this in OBS. And then when I go back to one, yeah. It's perfectly fine, except it's a little cattywampus. Just bring it back some. Yeah, that's good. Cool. And that'll solve that. In case that happens. Lose a little resolution, but that's fine. Yep. Alexander Falsgry says, "Since you're kind of big on Chrysler K cars, what was your opinion of the Dodge Daytona Chrysler Laser?" Love those things. I mean, they had head gaskets that didn't work. They were like paper stuff, and they were pretty terrible. But I love the way they look. They were some great bits of engineering that kept Chrysler going in time with Mitsubishi, and gave something that could go against Honda. They're trying. They're trying to exist within the times. It's kind of like how I like the electric Charger. It's Stellantis trying to do something. Anything. Brooks says, "Hi, I picked," and sorry, TikTok, I'm still talking to YouTube. 9TV9 invites you to co-host with one other creator. Who are these people? They're like 3 or 4. I don't know. I think when people invite you to co-host, it's probably some weird thing. Anyway. I forget what we were talking about. Isn't the later just a fugly Trans Am? It's a Doge Trans Am. I think with my beard, I should have left this bit go all the way down, didn't I? Yeah. Have it follow the jawline. Instead, I shaved it there. Oh, look at that. Okay, this thing wanted to take a picture. Look at that, saving. Now it's back. Keeps trying to capture stuff. Interesting. Davey Rando says, "Right, you're the first YouTuber I've seen have something nice to say about the EV Charger, even if it's followed." Hey, it's making a point. Okay, so I think that's what's going to happen with these two GoPros. If they go into photo mode, that's what they were doing last time. They seem to want to go into photo mode. And there it goes again. Look at that. Oh, wait. No, still fine. Oh, now we're in a different mode, aren't we? We're in program mode. That's hilarious. And the good old Canon keeps on chugging. Anyway, sorry. TikTok, I ignored you for a minute. Never buy a Jeep. That's what they said. Angel Des says 69. Someone else just got the number 2 gifter badge. Don't know what that means, but thank you. Josh Woodsoe says your beard is fine. Okay. Josh Woodsoe says, appreciate your reviews, helping me sort out the choice of a used Toyota Lexus or Ford Maverick. Oh, Lexus, Toyota Lexus, every single time. Unless you absolutely need the fuel economy, then you do the Maverick. The Maverick fuel's fine. Maverick's nice and quiet. But again, it's freaking Fomoco, so I don't know what we're talking about here. It's not great versus a Lexus like a GX 470. Come on, that thing's going to last for another 20 years. Anyway. TikTok says, recently had a 2024 Elantra with multiple misfires. The coils gave out. Okay. I mean, you can buy your own like AC Delco coils or whatever and just put them in yourself. But again, yeah, that's something that Toyota would never do. What happened to Roman's rants? He's coming back. He's gonna be. Oh, look at that! The 2 GoPros had an issue. Oh, look at that one. That one, the 10 went to a different mode. What mode is it? Look at that. The 10 changed again. It's in a completely different... Look at that. Okay. I don't know what mode that's in. But it changed. Oh, I think it's back in it's back in the 5K cinema with narrow focus. Yeah. So when it comes time for the podcast tomorrow night, we're just going to have to accept that the GoPros are just going to switch modes on their own. And then, yeah. And there's nothing we can do because we don't have any, with the exception of this, the one you're seeing right now on YouTube, the XA60, that thing's meant to be running the whole time. These GoPros, how warm are they getting? You know, okay, the Hero 6, not that warm. The Hero 10 warmer, but the Hero 10 has to have its battery in it. There's more. There's always more. Okay. Josh says, yeah, I was bummed by Ford on the transmission and the Focus. 3 clutch replacements. I'll ditch that car, man. Yeah, that sucks big time. Baz says, what sucks about GoPro, they have a great app. It only controls a single camera. You need to shell out $100 for the Wi-Fi remote to have this sync them. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do the DJI cameras, and I need to find a different solution for HDMI webcams to work with this ATEM. Because my idea is that any one of my friends can come here and be the producer, and all they have to do is hit these big lighted buttons to switch in between the cameras, and I don't have to teach them anything. You just set it up and it goes. Silly Zombie says, I looked on Google. Could be due to a few reasons, including an accidental screen touches. Well, you're obviously watching me. We're not touching the screen. Firmware glitch or a misinterpretation of environmental factors. Yeah, it's getting hot. And it's plugged in to external power and a HDMI in. Now, okay, HDMIs talk both ways sometimes. And it's plugged into it's plugged into the ATEM switcher, so the ATEM switcher could be having an issue with it. TikTok says, have you ever driven an automatic XLX Matrix? No, only the manual one. I know you enjoyed the 6-speed, but curious about the auto. Don't know. I mean, the auto, it may be able to hold it in the power band a little bit better, but I've said this many times that the power band of the ZZW30 engine needs a very, very short ratio, almost a competition gearbox, because it's like that thick. So, and for people listening, I'm just holding my fingers like a couple millimeters apart. And the ratios on the transmission that come with the Matrix XRS or Pontiac Vibe GT are longer than the power band when the thing's on cam, when it goes into like its most aggressive VVTi, or as of all the VVTi engines that Toyota made, the one that's in the Pontiac Vibe GT, Matrix XRS, and Toyota Corolla also had the XRS. If you looked for it, you could get that in the four-door sedan as well. But the second you shift it, you fall out of power, and that's a oopsie on Toyota's part. I'm with Kia. I want key tags back. Yeah. Merch. We have merch, and I don't. It's buried like in the description of our YouTube channel. Dave Rando. Okay, I have to pay attention to the TikTok. Is the Pontiac Solstice GXP coupe interesting enough to be worth the few grand premium? Is it better than a Celica? Is it better than a Prelude? I don't know. It would have to. The one I drove, the NA one, it's like, why buy this? The Miata's more fun. The Miata is lighter. This is the only reason you would buy a Solstice or a Saturn Sky is if you're too big to fit in a Miata, and that's really all there is to it. And even then, the Miata ND is good, is bigger. So, no, man, it's not better than you didn't make a car that is better in any way than the standard for roadsters, which is the Miata. You couldn't make a better Miata, and you didn't. And it's not like Toyota putting the engine in the back, or middle, excuse me. It's not like Porsche. They didn't provide a better product at all, so no. What do you think of the Mark III Supra? The Mark III Supra is a luxury GT. Look at that. Saving. Okay, that thing just took a whole bunch of still pictures. All right, thanks for that, man. Now we're back in photo mode with sides on it. That rules. Brandon Reviews says it shitted itself. I had a design for Kunkelman. That should really probably be like the drinking game. Everybody take a drink when the GoPros freak out. Everybody, I said the name of the GoPro stop capture. GoPro stop capture. GoPro stop capture. Look at that up in the corner. It's recording. Thanks for that, camera. Stop. There you go. Matto. Good morning, Matto. Matto, I have an answer for you. So, okay. The camera that you're seeing me on right now is the Hero. Is the Hero 6. That one is running without, and with this little tally light here, it's exposed for that and not me. That kind of sucks. I need another light source on myself. And if I do this, actually if I do that, that's better. Not better. But then I'm like looking into it. I can see why Tim Dillon just wears shades, because he lights himself up big time. The Hero 6 that you're seeing right here, this guy is being run without power. It's running just off its USB. But this guy, the Hero 10, wiggle, 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 cannot run off the... Oh, we lost the Hero 6. It just turned off. All right. There you go. Come on back. Yeah. Is there a way to donate without YouTube taking a cut? Yes, Riviera. Just go to... Oh, people, there you can see all the photos this thing tried to take. Isn't that neat? Have you used DJI cameras previously? Yes, we use one for our road shots, the DJI Osmo 3. I wonder if something's wrong with the touchscreen. Could be giving phantom touches. Could be. Anyway, what was I talking about? Like Memento up in here. Oh, is there any way to donate without YouTube taking a cut? Yes. Subscribe to our Patreon. It's only $1. Do that. And that's the easy way. So just do that. Subscribe to our Patreon, and that's the easiest way. The 6 looks the best because I'm being flooded with light. The 10 right here on the big couch is it has its gain all the way up because it's trying to adapt for the low light. And the good old Canon doesn't give a shit. Just sitting there. Brandon Beverage says, Hero 10 doesn't work without a battery, but Hero 6 does. That's correct. I think it's because the Hero 10, this one that you're seeing right now, requires a media mod. It requires an extra sort of chassis to go in around it if you want to plug stuff into it. It's GoPro. It's them going dongle crazy like iPhones. Like, well... See, the Hero 6 doesn't need anything to be used as a webcam. It has its HDMI out. It has its USB all built into the camera. But the Hero 10 is like, well, what if we just don't give you that? And you make you buy another modification with some, like, cold shoes on it. Yeah. Hero 6, better than the Hero 10. It's dumb. I am. Hero 10's going to get... The Hero 10, even though it can do 5K, is going to be the shit camera once I replace it with the same Action DJI that you bought. Anyway, TikTok, how are you? Can you please go do more car show videos? I cannot tell you how much I enjoy those. We just did one. It's up on our Patreon, TikTok. It is, just go to Patreon regular car reviews or Patreon regular cars. Regular cars or regular cars. It's in the description of... I wonder if I can put it in the description of TikTok. We just did one. It's really, really dirty. It's the kind of stuff that would get me demonetized on YouTube. And the stuff you used to be able to do on YouTube. Now you can't. But you can do it on Patreon. They don't care. You can do porn on Patreon. All the furry artists draw their animations on Blender. Put them up on Patreon. Patreon's like, we'll take that money. So that's where you can find the old school RCR. And we just did one at Mainline Cars and Coffee. It's it is $1. Our Patreon is literally $1. I mean, there's tiers above that, but if you want to watch this stuff, hey, it's $1. $1. You won't even notice it. And you'll help RCR. Someone says I'm handsome. Well, thank you. Let's hope that'll get me a man. Josh says, where did you get those glorious couches? They came with the house. The widow left them here. I'm never getting rid of them. We need more stuff on the walls. I'll take any sort of donations I meet in person to put stuff up on the walls because they came with the house. Yeah. I want to get some secondhand Canon M50 cameras and run them the way you're running your GoPros. Canon M50 secondhand. Do they have HDMI out? Because that'd be neat. Can they be run continuously? Because my, you know what? We can test that. Hold on. Everybody, TikTok, hold on. We're going to go grab a DSLR and plug it in and just see what it does. I'm back. All right. We have here our old Nikon. Wait, this may not work because I think Nikons can't be run off of USB. Well, yeah, there's an HDMI out, but I don't think they can run continuously. That sucks. And this one only has one working battery. I guess that's why they use Canons so much, because maybe Canons can be run off of their battery. I got a little bit of power here. Let's test this off the Canon. I'll lose the Canon. Plugging this in with the HDMI. Interesting. Play. Oh. All this is just pictures off the camera. Interesting. There's Tony. Yeah, well, I don't want that. I want to see what play, slideshow. So that's really it. Okay. So all the Canon and I'm sorry people on TikTok, I'm still talking to YouTube at the moment. So the only thing you see right now coming off the Canon is just a slideshow going through. This was at the Garlic Festival in Easton, Pennsylvania. I mean, this is kind of a neat thing that I can just roll through these things. But you can also program this in OBS, so this is just like a hardware way to fix a software problem. I didn't even post any of these pictures. I mean, I just brought this camera along there and just... These are all shot with a manual lens, so it's me being kind of hipsterish. At least, like, I was on the lookout for, like, wine moms and stuff. Hot dogs, men, garlic donuts. They sucked. I think that was Tony drinking. Yeah, garlic ice cream. It literally was vanilla ice cream with garlic in it. The London shop. Here's a bunch of beards. There's Crazy Taxi. Drove that there. There's someone taking a picture of it. There's old people looking at it. There's someone else taking a picture of my car. There's a guy on a motorcycle taking a picture of my car. And then we went inside a video game store and just started looking at stuff. And Sega Master System, Hyper, haha, some sort of robot, picture of Cloud. I remember Lotus. There's the original Sonic display in the background. And then we ended up at this place that sells cider. And I think we met people. I got recognized there. So I was invited to someone else's table, which was nice. But one of the things that happens when I get recognized in public is people just want to tell me about their cars. And I just sort of space out a little bit. And it was a good thing Tony was there to help take the load off me. When you meet me in public, I'll talk about cars, but it's sort of like just, hey, you want to do curls? Yeah, we can do curls. Hey, you just want to work out at the gym? Yeah. I mean, I went this morning, especially like I live in automotive culture all the time, so to talk about it is just like, well, here I'm at work again, which is strange. You know, I've been doing this for 10 years. I wonder how Matt Farah does it. Who's taking the load for you? Sorry, says TikTok. Tony's taking the load for me. I was taking pictures of beads. Okay, then we're back to the original thing. All right, so we've learned that Nikon, the small Nikon, can't act as a webcam. It can only act as a blah blah. It can only act as a slideshow. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to put this camera away. I'm going to get the D750 and see if that thing will run continuously and be a better solution than these GoPros. Although the GoPros haven't complained in a while. Okay, this is the big gun. This is my favorite camera, the Canon D750 full frame. Only does 1080p, while everything else is in 4K. But what comes out of this is sharper than what comes out of the 4K 24p Canon. So our outputs are, yeah. I think this cannot run off of external power, just like the other ones. So Matto says, yeah, the Mark II runs clean HDMI, unlike the M50 Mark I. Okay. Josh Warso, is there any certain exercise or gym machine you don't like? No. They all have a job, and they're good at it. Even the Smith machine. I know we're not supposed to hate that. Okay. I am going to go plug the D750 in to the HDMI out and see what we get. Really? It's the exact same thing? But I don't want that. Okay. So, same as before, the D750, all it's doing is running through the pictures that we literally took yesterday. Starlight says change mode. It should do video out. If there's a mode I can go through, I don't know what it is. And that's the Toyota Solara. Is that pronounced Solara? Anyway, sorry, TikTok has been watching nicely. My ex loves you. Should I be concerned? I mean, no. Wait, why do you care what your ex is doing? And, I don't really trust what people say on TikTok. Mark Corner joined. Hello, Mark. We're simulcasting between TikTok and YouTube right now. People on YouTube are seeing a slideshow of... Okay, now it's playing video. It's playing video, but not exporting the audio, which is interesting. Not that there's much. The audio that comes out of a 750 is not great. Brian got so high he thought about running for mayor, I guess. So Mark Kendo, like the GIF. King Panda, like live. So YouTube, I just wrote most of the narrative, or most of my half for the narrative for the Toyota Solara today. It's not Solara. I've been so used to saying that. There's no second O in it. It's Solara. People on YouTube are seeing how wide those doors are on the Solara. They're huge. They're massive. You really can't park it anywhere. It's a good thing it's a convertible, so I guess you could climb out the top of this thing. Did I see the new Subaru Outback? Yeah, I saw one in the wild today, drive-in. And I agree with people are saying. It looks like a Subaru, but I don't know what those fake bash bars are all about. Hey, YouTube, are anybody actually watching? I have to go back and double check. Make sure you guys didn't drop out. Yep, Sideways says, yep, you're there. Okay, sounds good. What are your thoughts on the Saturn Vue versus the Honda V6 version? Oh, the Saturn Vue got a V6 in it? Nice. I didn't know that. I guess, yeah. When I think about Saturns today, what I think about is YouTube. Can just bring it back to my cam. When I think about Saturns today, it's a dead company. So I think of driving a Saturn in 2025 like I think about driving a K car, honestly. it seems like something that you're going to have to do your own part searching for. That's Jason Mara. Brian, have you noticed a noticeable loss in viewers since coming out as a furry? I don't think that's really a coming out thing. It's more of this thing I do on the side. So, I don't know. It's hard to tell because I keep gaining. No, not really. Because it's hard to make that quantifiable because online content right now is in such a state of flux. You don't know what's really affecting what you're doing. Content that does really well on TikTok may not do well on Instagram. Stuff that does well on Instagram doesn't do well on TikTok. My most popular videos on TikTok is furry content. The most popular videos on YouTube is long-form documentaries like Nick does. And Instagram is sort of in between. So now my subscriber count on YouTube is inching closer and closer to 1 million. TikTok is growing. Instagram is growing. So no, not really. The one Kia says this could be Patreon exclusive. You could live stream a raw A-roll from your D750 and your GoPro riff on the production process of taking that video. I mean, I guess, yeah. One of the things there that you see for YouTube that you see on the Solara. Oh, we reached the end of the video. Look at that. One of the things that you see on the Solara is it has a headlight adjustment knob. That's really for towing. The part comes directly from the Toyota Tacoma. No, the Tundra. It's maybe the Tacoma has it as well. It's the little knob that pitches the headlights down for when you have a whole bunch of weight on your receiver. You know, you're towing something, so it weighs the back of the truck down, lifts the front of the truck up, and now your headlights are shining toward the treetops. So you turn that little knob, aim them back down toward the road so you can actually see what's on the road. But why does that switch? Why is it on a convertible coupe that doesn't have a receiver to begin with? Why are you putting that there? Do they figure that people are going to try to tow with this thing? Or are they trying to imagine that people are going to go on a road trip with a two-door convertible and then they're going to load the trunk up with so much stuff that it's going to... Oh, I heard a beep. Which camera quit? Camera 2. It's the 10. The 10 shut off. All right. There we go. Jube asked, "Do you ever find it difficult to continue automotive YouTube?" I don't know what else I would do unless I would consult. I don't know how you do that. I'm not in the car niche, but I burn out making videos so quickly now. I find it so hard to get motivation back. Fuck your motivation. Just do your job. Yeah. Just the good news is you don't exist. The concept you doesn't exist. So if you're going to fret about motivation, like, who are you? You're a 100-year-old carbon-based organism. We're here for a short time. Make money, kick ass. Motivation. But I know what you mean. But what else are you going to do but spend your life? I think it was Robert Evans who said, "We spend the majority of our lives in our endeavors. Do them really, really well." The one Kia says Toyota Solara, the official convertible of Rinaldi and Klein. That's where they put the stuff that goes in the holes they dig. I guess, yeah, you could make a joke. You could make that well-worn boomer joke about bodies and trunks. Man, that joke is so original. Why don't you tell it to me again? Go ahead. Tell it to me again. I can't wait to hear it again. Tell it from the beginning like you never told it before. I have never heard that thing before. It's awesome. Anyway, TikTok. Been watching since I was a teenager. I'm friends with the denim white Volvo dude. The denim white Volvo dude. I've driven so many cars. The denim white Volvo, dude. I'm afraid I can't remember. I need to unplug this guy. I need to unplug the D750, put it away. I need to... I'm not going to bother with the Hero 10. If it wants to stay off, it stays off. None of these cameras are going away because we got to do a big podcast tomorrow. I'll be right back. I got to put the 750 away. Chad, I hope you don't mind if I make myself a beverage. I'll be right back. Brian's Bulbous Brown Bungalow. Yeah. Hello, everybody on TikTok. I am going to make myself a beverage. I will be right back. So don't anybody go nowhere. Just make myself a drink downstairs. Well, really, I can take TikTok with me, can't I? All I have to do is unplug that. Now TikTok can hear me. Clip it to myself, and you guys are mobile. TikTok, you're coming with me. YouTube, you're staying put. You're shackled to the computer. So Matto says, I'm back. Just had to rage at my coffee grinder. Oh, the one you have on the big long table where you're pursuing the ultimate espresso? Yeah. Live will end in 5 minutes. Okay. Drag the puzzle to complete it. Yeah, okay. All right. TikTok is special. They get to come with me downstairs. Also, I need to get my roommate to figure out the new app. All right, YouTube. I'm back. TikTok is special. They got to come with me. And we got to plug TikTok back into the mixer. There you go. I need a coaster. A friend made me these. Nice 3D printed RCR coasters. So, everybody on YouTube, I'm back. I got Manischewitz and lime. You know, honestly, when you cut a little bit of water, keep it cold. It's not too bad. It's kind of all right. What country am I in right now? What county am I in right now? Montco. Stir it a little at least. Okay. Stir it a little. Does Manischewitz turn your lips red? It certainly is a syrupy drink. You know, I think Manischewitz would be all right with like seltzer water in it. Starlight says, and this I'm talking to YouTube now. Starlight says for the Canon cameras, the HDMI video is enabled by pressing the live view button. Really? I guess we can try it again. I sound happier to talk to TikTok. I suppose the reason I'm happier to talk to TikTok is because I have that salesman reflex that when I see myself, like, okay, they can hear you smiling. And it's really down to the, yeah, look at that. YouTube, the second I look away, I'm not really looking at my face. You know, I'm looking at OBS. So I'm like, okay, I'm not on camera, even though I am. I'll stick to my twisted T and G and T's. Keep it twisted. Just sent a gift, says JJ. Well, thank you. Mr. Bellator says, have you always had a big interest in finances, or is your interest more recent? I asked since Finance Bird is pretty recent. Finance Bird is just a way to make content with my fursuit in a way no one else is. My mom was a stockbroker and later a financial, and still is a financial consultant, even though she's retired. So I grew up in that world of hyper, what's a good way of putting this? Hyper financial vigilance. My mom will watch the Phillies, but her sports is, the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, that sort of thing. When I was little, I would fall asleep to Wall Street Week with Louis Rukeyser. Now, I'm nothing like my friend Mike, who's a very talented investor and can day trade. I don't have the balls for that. I'm planning for when I'm 68 years old. David Urin with a generous donation. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. David Urin says, Brian, I feel I have watched your channel for about a decade now. I've been doing it for a decade, yeah. You have worked really hard to be where you are now. I'm glad to see you're doing so well. Here's to 1 million subscribers. I appreciate that. Hey, look at that. Our Hero 6 changed modes. Get back in there. It went into photo mode, didn't it? .302 wide. That's a really wide. Linear, wide, whatever you want. You're getting wide. And also in wide mode, it's not... Oh, now I'm in dark. Just a little bit. All right, so I'm in wide now. Esther Outcome says, so his orangeness and the effects on the stock market must have raised her blood pressure. Nope. No, my mom is going to be 70 soon. She has seen many ups and many downs. The tariffs right now, we have been in a bull market since 2020, right? 2020 was a much, much bigger. 2020 was so crazy that the stock market threw the circuit breaker. They just stopped trading because they didn't know what was going to happen. So this, and then when things went, hey, look at that. Look at that. The Hero 10 came back on its own. How do you like that? Look at that. Hero 10 back on its own. We could even go over here now to 1. Actually, we need to put that up a little bit more. The old reliable. Old XA60. Doesn't care. Interesting, the difference in resolution. This is a $2,000 camera. This is a $300 camera. $2,000, $3,000. This is like better color representation than this. Of course, there's probably a lot more tuning I can do with this Canon than I can with this GoPro and that one looking at the chairs. Yep. Matto says she saw the 80s, she saw the Y2K, she saw the GFC, she'll get through it. This, you know, I have gotten richer during this dip because I bought stuff. Even though I have less money, I know where this is going. This is going to stabilize more. So, Matto says you like the Canon more, this one. Since this is the producer's table, it's not really, I don't really have to have stuff in the background to build a set as opposed to this. This obviously needs more stuff on the walls. We have all that negative space. Obviously, you know, I'm a fan of Ian Fidance. I love his set, the Delaware Den. That's dope. Back to TikTok. Mr. Regular, I've always been a fan of your videos since the early days. Love seeing you online. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I tried to get you to review my Chevy Caliber Chevy Caliber SRT4. Oh, your Caliber SR. I want to review that. Are you in the Philly area? I mean, the only way to get me to do anything is to bug me, honestly. So that's the way to do it. I mean, you can get them in my DMs. You know, getting in my Instagram DMs is a little bit better than TikTok DMs, but, you know, because Instagram DMs it's up there in the corner, and you can see it when it comes up there. Esther Outcome says, I opened a 401k retirement account due to your advice 2 years ago. I appreciate that. Good on you, man. Help future you. Jay Munster doesn't have a question, just a generous $10 donation. I appreciate that, man. You're helping keeping this show going. Merchant just got the #1 gifter badge. Thank you for that. Don't stop wiping till it turns red, says Rufter. I could go for another one of these Manischewitz in water. That's pretty good. Unless I'm just going to hit the gin. Just a little taste. Of course, I really should drink water if we're going to get crazy here. Jay says, regular forklift reviews when? I've never driven a forklift. I've seen the Funk channel where he talks about, you know, here we got so-and-so, like forklift fail analysis. And I don't want to end up being that guy. Sofa. Esther Outcome says, I work part-time. Okay. Cool. Back to TikTok. Hey, Mr. Regular, I hope everything's good. I had a Kunkelman scoop about 4 years ago. Always gets a laugh. Well, thanks. I think the work van now for Philadelphia also has a Kunkelman Chevrolet license plate frame. I'm about to head out. Good to catch you live, though. Thank you. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate that. It's Matto says, I'll try to make that one happen when you come back. Yeah. Pay off this house. And then pay off the house. Really, #1 priority is getting this, well, pay off the house and get this podcast very, very relevant. to have it be a source of good vibes in a harsh world. Esther Outcome, do you have any dream cars you have yet to review? Yeah, the real Dodge Neon ACR. Someone has one. It's far away. I'd like to do a Bricklin SV1. That'd be fun. Bricklin SV1. I wonder if there's an app for the iPhone where you can have the iPhone kick out HDMI, because I've seen people use iPhones as just webcams, and in my box of goodies here, where is it? There it is. In my box of goodies, I have an HDMI 2 lightning cable. I have an HDMI 2 lightning cable right here. But when I plug my iPhone into the ATEM mixer, it recognizes it, but it doesn't deliver video. And it also won't spin it sideways. It'll only show it in vertical. The one Kia says, when you do a live stream on YouTube, I generally try to ask non-car questions because I always feel you can get so little opportunity to talk. Yeah. You know, me, I'm always talking about cars, so any opportunity to talk about anything else really gets me going, as opposed to just going into my encyclopedia of, car knowledge and just sort of reciting it. Driver's Ed, the iPhone can only be used as a webcam with just Mac OS. Okay, can't use a third party. Yeah. Couch. Little Tweak says, traded gold for flat screens and pews and all of them. All right. Skull Trader says, what do these pills do? You know old school RCR. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Regular, do I believe in life after love? I always wondered what Cher was talking about when she sang that song. YouTube, when you live stream on YouTube, you got that. Got the number 2 Glitter Gladge. Hello, Skull Trader. Hello, a bunch of other people. Do you think you will profit on the house when you sell it? If I sell it. The thing about a ranch-style house is I don't really have to go out. I'm thinking about me when I'm 70 and may have trouble with stairs. I enjoy this house, man. I don't see myself going anywhere for a long time. But yes. If I redo, it's possible that if I updated this kitchen, which obviously I'm not going to do because it's original, it's only original once. But if I update the kitchen and both bathrooms, this is a 7-figure house. So, yeah. But then where would I go? Like if the market goes crazy. Unless I get like a movie deal or I do some other work that's like 10 times as lucrative as what I'm doing now with YouTube and, Instagram and TikTok, where I actually get to, buy and sell cars and have like Tavarish money, and have a nice garage to work on stuff. I don't really see myself going anywhere. TikTok. Let's get political. Favorite cheesesteak joint. There used to be a place in West Reading called, what was it called? It was called, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to, I'm doing something for YouTube right now. Yeah. There was this place in West Reading called the Yellow Sub. That was my favorite cheesesteak joint. It was a guy who came up from Philly to West Reading, opened this cheesecake joint. He was funny as hell. I love his cheesesteak. My go-to was cheesesteak, provolone. Give me some diced tomatoes and some jalapenos. And obviously an inordinate amount of fried onions. That was my go-to. MR57 from YouTube says, house tour when, unless I've missed it already. I have some stuff on Instagram. But you'll see different parts of the house as it comes up, as we film in different parts of the house. Mr. Benatar on YouTube says, if you had to put a number to it, what % of furry culture is sexual and non-sexual? I don't really think that's... I think that's a question with no answer. Look at it this way. The majority of people who go to conventions are 21 to 24. College-age kids. And you just put them all in a hotel filled with booze, Molly, and house music, and no authority figures. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to do homework? They're going to work on grad school stuff? No. They're going to pork. So, it's like how people get it on at Coachella or Trail Days or name your festival. It's the same vibe. So, Matto says, oh yeah, have I found good coffee in Philly? I have, yes. Not in the city. I haven't tried out coffee shops in the city yet. I have one or two, but I was just getting drip coffee. I found a place that does an 80% Australian flat white. It's I'll blow up their spot. It's Backyard Beans in Lansdale. Oh, by the way, let me just do a sync test. Ready? People on TikTok, you don't have. This is for YouTube. Sync test. Sync test. Sync test. Sync test. Sync test. Sync test. Good? I hope we're good. 626 Gene says professional conventions are like that. See? Everybody wants to bust. Isaac Flavely says, do I miss my old house and town? No and no. I don't. I miss how cheap it was living up in Schuylkill County. But I don't miss the bigoted nature of the people who live there. I don't miss the homophobia, the racism, I don't miss the loneliness. It was really, really a lonely place. It's a great place to pump out kids and yell at your dog. But I'm doing none of those things. So what the hell am I doing in the Appalachian Mountains? Anyway, back to TikTok. Mr. Regular, I grew up in Quakertown. What do you say? Mr. Regular, I grew up not far from the Allegheny area, Paytown, good old Quakertown. Shy Tower Chevrolet. I remember those ads. Cool Man says, your Crown Vic review is my favorite review because I both own a Crown Vic and live in Fairfax County, Virginia. Awesome. Oh! Hero 10 decided it wants to go into a different mode. Look at that. It had fun. It's back in widescreen anymore. No longer in 4:3, which means we're back in widescreen. Oh, look at that. It's recording. It decides it wants to record. GoPro, stop record. There you go. See? Voice activated. Mr. Benatar on YouTube says, do you hope to own rental properties? Let me learn what it's like to be a homeowner first before we start talking about me being a landlord for someone else. TikTok, someone says, has the Restomod movement already peaked? No. When you say peaked and when you say Restomod, what I'm assuming you're referring to is like the shaved door handles or people putting like screens and things. If you're referring to that, then yes. But if you're referring to modernizing classic cars with drivetrains, no. Nope. Holly Sniper is an amazing thing. The Bear's Den says, Yum Yum Donuts is... Oh, Yum Yum Donuts. That's not too far from here, isn't it? Oh, man, I could go Yum Yum Donuts and get some Yum Yum Donuts. But the thing is, like, I'm trying to stay svelte and stay attractive for people. Isn't that right, TikTok? So, no. I'll get some coffee at Yum Yums and maybe a donut. You see, when I eat pastries, TikTok, I do that for editing. That's what I use that for. YouTube. I just bought a surprising rust-free 2000 Miata SC with a 6-speed. Never liked converticles, but damn, it is fun. Isn't it, though? It's awesome. Couch. Something followed you like the live. What Ford Ranger should I buy? Four-banger with a manual transmission from the late 90s, early 2000s. Now, granted, that's the 2.3 Lima, the dual spark. So it's a 4-cylinder with 8 spark plugs. But they're simple, and you can keep them running. Okay, no real questions. I gotta make sure when I'm on TikTok, I'm on widescreen. When I'm on YouTube, I'm over here. For TikTok, do you have any good scary Appalachian stories? Any cryptic sightings? There was this one time. Okay. All right, chat. This story happened on Christmas Eve last year. Was it last year? No. The year before that. We were doing a giveaway of a Gen 6, or do they call it? No, the Mark 6 Mini Cooper. Yeah. And I was driving that a lot, and I got a call from the Microtel Hotel in Hamburg, which was the only hotel in the area. Intersection is 78 and 61 near the Big Cabela's. And technically, that's right over the border in Berks County. And they called me and said there's a guy who called us who needs a ride. And they knew that I did rides for the Appalachian Trail. And he says, can he call you? And I said, sure. It was about 9 o'clock at night. So this guy calls me, and he's on the side of the highway, hitchhiking, trying to get to the hotel. And he says, I'll pay you to pick me up. I quoted him, look, just $5. And I thought everything about this is sketchy because the hikers are all gone in December. And he just had to get to the hotel. I knew this was going to be weird. So if I'm going to be weird, I'm going to buy someone says couch check. Yep, couch is still there. And I take my pepper spray and I take the Mark 6 Mini Cooper. Because if it's gonna, I want this guy to feel a little off. So I pick him up in the Mini Cooper. He said it was interesting, but then immediately told me his story about why he was hitchhiking on the side of the highway on Christmas Eve. He says, my girlfriend kicked me out. I got a bus here from Charlotte or someplace far away, multiple states away. And she threw me out on New Year's Eve. Can you believe that? And I'm like, man, that sucks. So I drive him the rest of the way to the hotel. He tipped me. He drove me paid me $20 to just drive him 10 minutes. And then he got out, and I just uh-huhed and yahed because he definitely sounded in crisis, or he sounded like he was holding on to sanity with his fingernails. But he took a bus to be with his girlfriend, and obviously he couldn't. He probably I know I'm blaming the victim, but probably both of these people were pieces of shit. So they probably just got into a fight with each other because they're probably low quality humans, and then that was it. And then they got kicked out. So that was my sketchy story. TikTok, how you doing? Thanks for all the content over the years, says Wild Monk. Well, thank you. Invite something to Joe Live as a guest. Interesting. I wonder, because my iPhone is plugged into a DJI is because it's plugged into the DJI through the lightning port. Because this is you. This is TikTok. You're hearing this. You're plugged in here. And for YouTube, there it is. Or there it is. That anybody who's joining live on TikTok, I won't be able to hear them. So it's not going to broadcast. And I'm not monitoring anything, so. Unless I ask to monitor through these, would that do anything? If I go into OBS and say monitor, there's a delay. Nope. Can't hear that? Okay. Yeah, that wouldn't work. I'd have to maybe. No, that wouldn't work. So no, anybody wanting to join me live on TikTok wouldn't work. David says, which one of the 3 ABC key cars was my favorite Honda Beat? How do they compare to motorcycles in your opinion? They serve the same purpose. At least they have roofs. The Suzuki Cappuccino is the fastest because it has the turbo. The Honda has the best shifter because it's a Honda, and the AutoZam is the best looking, but I have to drive it in my socks. So, I mean, the AutoZam I guess has a turbo as well. But once you get in it, you can't really see out the sides, can't see out the back, and you can barely see out the front. So the AutoZam is great it's great for sitting next to. And the Suzuki Cappuccino just feels like a small Miata, and the Honda Beat feels like nothing else. So it's a Honda Beat. It's the most unique one, most fun driving one. It'll ruin cars for you. On YouTube, the son of Mouse Fitzgerald said, would you rather review the new 2024 WRX? Thank you for the content. Like, if I review the new WRX, I would have to really make an effort to not say it feels like every other Subaru. Subarus were rompy and wild until about 2014, 2015, and then they became sedans. I don't get it, man. I mean, they're still good, but the weirdness, you have to search for it. I think the best Subaru right now is just the Impreza wagon, NA. It's the most Subaru feeling one of them all, with a manual, of course. And is it true that WRX is just an Autobox now? TikTok says, what do you think about the Lexus GX 470? It's great, and I recommended it to someone just recently. I think it's wonderful. It's the American, it's the Lexus Land Cruiser, isn't it? I think I told the guy that it's the car, it's the rig you buy when you're working for the CIA, you're in Mogadishu, and you're up to some shit. And you need a car that's going to blend in and also get you out of trouble if shit goes sideways. What do you think of the first-gen Toyota Highlander? Love it. Love it. I mean, it's like a 4Runner, but, it actually drives nice. And for most people driving 4Runners, including myself, that's all you need. And even the hybrid's pretty pokey. It's pretty peppy. Drove one all the way from Portland, Oregon. Oh! GoPro messing up. Couch check. Couch is still there. Okay. It's almost 9 p.m. Irrational Divine on YouTube says, Impreza is now automatic only. WRX still has a manual. Okay, that makes me feel happy. TikTok says, bring out the fursuit. Hey, TikTok has to pay me to do that. Someone else says, we want to see the bird. I mean, the thing is, when I put it on, I have to do this to see the screen. But I'll do it. Don't worry. People in YouTube are saying bird up. Oh, look at that. We're now in a different mode again. GoPros keep it lively, don't they? Just switching modes like that. Awesome. Impreza's now auto only. Okay, good. Should I finance an $80,000 VW? No. YouTube. Someone on TikTok says, should they finance the $80,000 Volkswagen ID Buzz? Fuck no. I want to drive that van. I think it looks neat. I drive an electric car. They depreciate like Mercedes cars when you... Look at that. Oh, we had fun times with GoPros. Saving. TikTok didn't see that. But we had a fun screw up now. It wanted to take pictures. It felt it was photo time. It's time for your photos. It's going to take a bunch of photos. Someone just put a hat on me in TikTok. I don't know how you did that, but that was neat. Oh, look at that. I get a hat. Neat. 2024 4Runner versus 2025. I want to drive a 2025 4Runner. Looks nice. I don't know how. Someone give one to me. Bring one to me. I'll do it. Someone sent ice cream cone. That's neat. I think I need another beverage. Job on YouTube says, I used to think electric cars were so whack, but I recently have been wanting one. My advice to someone who wants to buy an electric car is, if you're already going to replace an ICE car, and if you have a house with a garage where you can run, you will spend $1,000 to $2,000 paying an electrician to run, unless you have the electrical box right there in the garage. It's going to cost money to run 50 amp cable, 50 amp wire out there, wire it up, and have everything be good. So, yeah. If all that stuff lines up, then yes, buy an electric car. If not, if that isn't in the cards for you, then just buy a hybrid. Job says, yes, unfortunately not. Maybe in a few years or when my Focus ST dies. You already have a fantastic car. That's not financially prudent to finance that or to change that. You have a fantastic car. Drive it until the wheels fall off, and then buy a used Corolla hybrid. See how you like that. Son of Mouse Fitzgerald says, I would get a Rivian if I had the money. I hear they're pretty good. They're okay. I drove a Rivian. I drove a Rivian, and it's quick. It's big. It doesn't have good range. It's heavy. And it's not very big inside. It's not going to save you money. Another way to look at the Rivian trucks is they're like the electric Hummers. They serve the same purpose. They're bro-dozers, but they're electric. And if that's what you want, if you want a bro-dozer, then go ahead and buy one. But if you want an electric car that actually has range, then you buy and is actually pleasant to be in. Then you buy the Hyundai Ioniq 6 or one of Volvo's offerings, really. Anyway, TikTok. Should I sell my salvaged Mark 7 Golf R and that thing will just not move? Sunk cost theory fucking me. Trying to sell my salvage, the thing will not move. Well, you have an R title, and which means you need to be realistic about the price. when you have a car with an R title or a salvage title, that means something's wrong with your car to an extent. Even if it's okay, it was in an accident or misfortune befell your car, and the buyer assumes the worst. And no combination of words in your out of your mouth or pieces of paper you hand to him, her, him, they, or anything you type on Facebook Marketplace is going to change their mind. You have a lower tier vehicle and you need to price it accordingly. Find the equivalent. Yeah, that's it if you want it to move. On YouTube, I need another bev. It is almost 9 p.m. My throat's getting a little bit dry. Hey, Mr. Regular, should I sell my Civic Si hatchback for a fit? It's a good question. Are we talking a Civic Si from the mid-2000s? It's pretty nice. I don't think so, unless there's something terribly wrong with it. That's a toughie. Honda Fit will be slightly better mileage. It's going to be slower, but you already have one of the most greatest cars ever built. 2004 Civic hatchback. That's nice, man. That's really, really good. The Honda Fit will be a little bit larger in size, but you're selling a hot hatch and buying a hatch. So a Honda Fit is very good for being a slow car, but a Civic Si from 04 is a good car, full stop. If you need the room, if you need to move stuff, then yes, you're going to have more room in it. You are not crazy for wanting to trade a C6 Z06 for an Evo 9. Those are two wonderful vehicles. C6 Z06 does one thing, and it's hell yeah, brother. Evo 9 does that in the snow, neutral drifting, and dude, when we had that Evo 9 for the giveaway, I love that thing. That thing was awesome. It is fantastic. So if you're in a place that has snow and parking lots, come on, man. The Evo 9 has a button. You saw it on Top Gear. Tarmac, gravel, snow. Now, and the interior is going to be way nicer than the C6. Your mileage is going to be worse, surprisingly. Oh, look, it's photo time. We got a bunch of pictures from it was photo time. Couch check. Couch check again. Okay, we're back. I got a 2025 Nissan Altima. Why? Why'd you buy from a buy here, pay here place? Was it given to you? Oops. It is 9 o'clock. Chat. My throat's getting dry. And we're going to be set up for live streaming tomorrow. And that's going to be that. So thank you very much for watching this. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody on YouTube, TikTok, YouTube, TikTok. The people on YouTube are seeing me switch between cameras. People on TikTok aren't seeing that. Couch check. Actually, let me give TikTok here a view of what I can see. Yeah, it's funny. You gotta flip the camera. So this is what I'm seeing. Can I pinch and zoom? Yeah, you can. So that's the A10 Mini, a video switcher. People on YouTube, I'm just showing people on TikTok a close-up. It's a wonderful little device. Some people use Streamlabs stuffs. I wanted to feel like I was a professional, so I bought the Blackmagic A10. And that goes... There's my laptop. There's me showing that. And there, up there, is just a portable monitor showing everything else. So you have my 3 video sources down and below. The Canon right there, the couch cam, and then the one up on the wall, and there's nothing plugged into number 4. So I can go between these, and as it switches between them, it shows them up above. So camera 1, couch cam, wide angle. Camera 1, couch cam, wide angle. And then I can also see my audio levels down there as they are in the ATEM. And then, of course, there's OBS. Everybody loves it. And yes, that's the thing. Real soft touch, real buttons. They're nice instead of having to go through all of this. All right. TikTok, I'm signing off from you. YouTube, I'm going to hang out a little bit longer. Thank you, TikTok. Take care. It's just you and me, YouTube. Brian, some dude pulled the furry card to make you seem not legit. Where? I was calling out the channel, and he was trying to shit on you guys. A lot of eyes supported, though. I mean, people with no imagination want to do that. Well, like what? You said that word, and now I blink and disappear like a side-scrolling beat-em-up game? Ooh, that's an awesome. But the name of the game, when I was a teacher, the name of the game of trolling is just to get a response. That's all it is. You've heard me say this before, but when I was a substitute teacher, there were people in class, I just call them back row barkers. They're not actually trying to converse. They just want to be heard. So, you know what the greatest thing is when someone's shit posting in comments. Normally, I don't read comments. It's not worth money. It's a waste of money to read them. But when I do want to read them, the greatest thing, if someone's being a dick, I just say, "Thank you for engaging with my content," and then they get pissed, and then you just say, "Thank you for engaging with my content." Love it. John says, "Can I get a ooh woo?" It was Doug's Monte Carlo video. Awesome. Are they still going back and forth in there? Couch check. We're going to be using the couch cam a lot more tomorrow. And this cam that you see me on right now is going to be probably my cam over there. Okay, YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to end this stream. We got our cameras. Big podcasting day tomorrow.